want to share with you. And Invest Offshore is doing really well, but it provides me incredible intelligence, market intelligence. Not just the pallets, which, as we know, become somewhat of a choke point, and I'm still dealing with pallets every day, and people, that's moving along, and there's no end in sight until the fat lady sings, which is the end of the Fed. But we haven't heard that yet. No one's been arrested. Nothing's changed really in a big dramatic sense, because as I mentioned, if I use any of this drone footage, the enemy has us somewhat in check in that they have some weapons that we don't have a remedy for quite yet. However, it's totally un-American to allow a threat to stand. And we know that it won't. Even the consequences could be dire. But you can't live, it's not an American thing to live under someone's threat. So whatever that might be, it sure has delayed the big moves from happening, or anyone from being arrested so far. But that's why the future is going to be quite interesting. But what we're learning about the financial markets is that Hong Kong has opened a gold exchange, which I think is tremendous. I've always loved Hong Kong. And it's good for the world because it moves a new market out of the hands of London. And New York is all paper. So now we have a real strong, liquid, solid gold market. And as you know, Invest Offshore has access to gold. So that's going to work out well for us. But what the really big news is, and I'm betting the ranch on it, is the Clarity Act. It's going to pass. And I've been writing about it on Invest Offshore for a really long time. Well, I guess 2025, it made the news a lot, and I covered it a year ago and a year and a half ago. But it essentially establishes the regulation structure for crypto. And there was issues between the CFTC and the SEC about who should be the sheriff. And now it's all been allocated. It did get through the first vote. It got through Congress, and it has been through the first Senate committee, and it is going to pass before we really hope, before the end of July. And that is going to open a whole new world, especially for the offshore sector. And aside from that, I guess my own personal observations are that we're in a biblical time, just any which way you want to slice it. Myself, I'm reading the book of Isaiah, and in chapter 38, King Hezekiah, he knows he's defeated. It's over. He's toast. And he got rid of his robes and put on sackcloth and went to the temple. And as the story goes, he wept because he knew all of the enemy they were surrounded. There was no hope. And Isaiah, before he even left the courtyard, came back and said, guess what? God said he's seen your prayers. He's heard your prayers, and he's going to protect you. And Judah. And see, Judah is what the lions are on the cover of Invest Offshore. One is Judah and one is Zion. They wouldn't be here, those two lions, which some mistake for reggae symbols, but no, they went with the Ark of the Covenant all the way to Ethiopia. Those two lions came from the family of Judah. But that's a whole nother story. But it might help you to understand why they're always on the cover of Invest Offshore thumbnail on our YouTube channel, is because those are the two lions. And naturally, Lionsgate Bridge, where I'm born, and Lionsgate Hospital, it's those two lions. And Bank of Hong Kong, which is on their currency, it's those two lions. And those lions, so there's a long history. Everyone wants to use the lions for their symbology, but I use them because they connect to Judah. And that's what the story is in Isaiah, is that King Hezekiah was told by God through Isaiah, said he's heard your prayers and he'll protect you and he'll save this city. And here we are to this very day. So that's why we know we're going to win in the end. But these are really tough times, folks. So hang in there and pray hard. As Juan would say, prayer works. Prayer necessary. So pray harder. Thanks again for watching. Bye for now. This might be a bit patched together, but got to start somewhere. And the point being this, that Juan O'Savin has been very clear that the next 3 to 4 months will be the most dramatic of our entire lives. And it's not hard to see why, because naturally Trump would have revalued gold and called the 2020 election bluff. But he can do neither, because the enemy's that powerful. So hang tight, everybody. Thanks very much for watching. And remember, we forward in this generation triumphantly.